2016 BMW M4 GTS review. As BMW set out to create the current M4, they deviated far from the regular 4 Series. The M4, and its 4-door sibling, the M3, are blessed with massive changes, and they are all good. The front suspension gets aluminum control arms, wheel carriers, and subframes. There is a carbon fiber strut brace in the front. In the rear, BMW has fitted a 5-link axle with forged aluminum control arms. The rear subframe is bolted directly onto the body, and the M4 gets a unique electric steering system. Manual transmission cars get a specific gearbox, and those who couldn't be burdened with operating a clutch get a dual clutch transmission instead of the base model's torque converter slushbox. Now BMW has taken the M4, tweaked, and refined it even more, and turned it into a veritable technology showcase. It's called the M4 GTS, a limited edition version of the M4 that will be built in just 700 units. Some M customers were been invited to order one in advance. Predictably, it sold out in a hurry. We took a close look nonetheless, at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, a beautiful racetrack that's often used for bike races. But it was perfect for the M4 GTS as well, and vice versa. Designed to compete on the racetrack, yet fully street legal, the M4 GTS comes with extensive modifications to its chassis, powertrain, and body. It's around 30 kilograms lighter than a regular M4, despite its roll cage and water injection system. More about it below. The M4 GTS comes with 265/35 R19 Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires up front, and 285/30 R20 rubber of the same type in the back. The tires are fitted with forged aluminum wheels, but late in the development process, carbon fiber wheels were added as an option, one that set customers back by a whopping €12,000. Half of them have ordered those wheels. Carbon ceramic brakes with 6 piston calipers up front, and 4 piston calipers in the rear are street and ARD. Moreover, the M4 GTS is fitted with a manually adjustable coilover suspension. The kinematics of the front axle are modified, and an elastic element in the steering column has been deleted for more precision. BMW couldn't leave the engine alone, either, to squeeze an extra 50 horsepower out of it, and that's compared to the competition package, not the regular M4. They added a well-proven high-performance and racing technology that hasn't been utilized by a major car maker in decades, a water injection system, with a 5-liter water tank mounted in the trunk, and 3 high-pressure injectors up front that feed 2 combustion chambers each. The M4 GTS is virtually a custom-built vehicle, but if water injection systems enter larger-scale production, the packaging could become more efficient. The water injection helps to cool down the intake air significantly, allowing for increased performance, without a penalty in efficiency and emissions, thanks to 500 horsepower and 600 Newton-meters of torque. The most extreme M4 to date charges to 100 km/h in just 3.8 seconds, and tops out at a governed 305 km/h. Don't ask us why BMW thought it was necessary to set an artificial ceiling to this car's high-speed oval capabilities. Compared to the street and ARD M4, the GTS clearly feels more powerful and extreme. It launches like a missile, the soundtrack is furious, and it responds much more sharply than a regular M4. The stability control system can be adjusted in several levels. The intermediate setting allows for significant drift angles, but it's a good thing the system can be switched off entirely. There is virtually no turbo lag, and the car charges forward with incredible urgency. turn in is ultra sharp. There is always enough torque to steer the car with the rear axle, yet this oversteer is easily controllable, and the car is never intimidating to the expert or even the aspiring amateur. The interior is significantly altered, with seats that sport a carbon fiber frame. We recommend the No Cost Club Sport package. Then, the M4 GTS comes with 6-point harnesses, a visible fire extinguisher, and a roll cage. The door trim is unique as well, with a frugal strap to close it, and light-weight cladding that looks like it comes straight out of an i3, because it does. Instead of a wood or aluminum strip, the decor is Alcantara, and it is inscribed, GTS. The exterior has been tweaked as well, to enhance aerodynamics, and to add some visible changes. Enhancements include a carbon fiber front hood with a large opening that optimizes airflow, an adjustable front splitter, and a large, adjustable carbon fiber rear wing. The taillights are an industry first. The M4 GTS is fitted with organic OLED taillights, a few months ahead of the Audi TT RS. These ultra-thin lighting units emit extremely homogeneous light which cannot be replicated with any other lighting technology on the market. The M4 GTS was launched in frozen dark gray, with acid orange accents. There is also a metallic gray. The two other colors are white and black. Those four colors constitute the entire palette, and BMW M4 GmbH chief Franciscus van Meel tells us that none of his customers has requested a different color yet. From behind the wheel, the M4 GTS is closer to a Porsche 911 GT3 than to any competitor in this segment. It simply blows away the competition. This, combined with the fact that it is certain to become a collector's item, makes the €130,000 plus price look reasonable. Just remember, it's sold out. But if you are nice to one of its 700 owners, you might be able to acquire a second and example down the road. Thanks for watching and listening. Please like, subscribe, share and comment.
(2017) Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS review. When Porsche released the latest version of the 911 with a turbocharged engine, the world almost stopped spinning. The engine was slammed for sounding weak, and the increase in torque removing some of the soul of its naturally aspirated predecessor. Arriving at the launch of the new 911 GTS, and speaking to some of Porsche's finest engineers, I was happy to find out that the sound was an area of focus. With a 30 horsepower bump in power, it's difficult to notice the improvement over a street and art Carrera S. Where you do feel an improvement in the engine is with an increase in torque, and when you combine that with that incredible Porsche double clutch gearbox, there is almost no sense of turbo lag. As with most modern turbos these days, there is a satisfying crackle when you take your foot off the throttle that can be heard inside and outside. Having spent the first evening with the head of engine development for the new 911s, it was hugely satisfying to know that they spend a lot of time reading forums, car magazines, and online reviews about their cars. They genuinely take this stuff to heart, and are matched only by Ferrari when it comes to passion within the company. It is clear as day to me that they took the feedback of engine sound to heart, and made some tweaks to GTS models. The engines rev to 7,500, and up there it would be difficult for your regular driver to tell the difference between this and a GT3. It really does sound that good. On day 2 of our test, we were taken to the Killarney racetrack in Cape Town. A technical track with bumps and high-speed corners. Combined with the new GTS, we were also testing a new Pirelli P0 tire that was nothing short of a revelation. After 10 laps there was no sign of the tread overheating. And the car just got better, and better. Much of this performance can also be attributed to the improvements made to the chassis in the 911 Ford GTS. Now with the option of 4-wheel steering, we are entering a new world when it comes to road car handling. Where you feel the biggest difference with the 4WS is when you're at the apex of a tight corner. Just when you think that the car is going to understeer, and push wide and feel the whole car tuck in further, which invites you to get on the power harder, and sooner than you'd naturally do without this feature. On track, kitted with the PDK gearbox, you'll never find yourself pulling on the downshift pedal repeatedly, begging for it to respond. In sport mode, the gearbox is super responsive, especially under braking where the down changes are instant, and well timed. High-speed stability is good, but there were some moments mid-corner where it was slightly unpredictable as it moved around a bit too much under me. It was in these moments where you can really tell where the engine sits in the chassis, acting as a pendulum, giving you the sense that the rear end is excited to lead the way instead. Another criticism is the feel of the brake pedal. The brakes themselves never faded, and the car stops on a dime, but I would have liked more feedback on the pedal when I initially got on the brakes. That being said, the way the new 911 GTS feels, behaves, and sounds is a success. I drove the Targa, Cabriolet, rear wheel, and 4-wheel drive models, and all of them were great. The Cabriolet was definitely the softest of the bunch, with a touch too much understeer, but will serve its customer base well. Last word goes to the new touch interface, which has been overthought, and took too long to learn. I'm a big believer that knobs and buttons are a better solution because you don't need to take your eye off the road, and to be honest, some insiders at Porsche that I spoke to tend to agree. If you're going to create a touch interface, you need to be sure that you're not hiding too much control in submenus. I spend way too much of my time trying to switch between FM radio, media, and navigation. Yes, the Apple Car integration is good, but even that interface has a long way to go. Overall, this was the most disappointing element of the car, but luckily everything else more than made up for it. I want one. A Carrera 4 GTS in Miami blue, please.